Picture this. You're 70 years old, sitting in your favorite chair, looking back on your life, the moments you cherished, the dreams you chased, and yes, the money you spent. Some of it brought joy, but some was wasted on things you now regret. What if you could change that today? In today's video, we're talking about something no one likes to think about. Money wasted on things you'll regret after 70. If you want to avoid these pitfalls and create a future you can be proud of, stay with me till the end. And before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss content that can truly change your life. Now, let's dive in. 1. Lavish material purchases that lose value. Imagine this. You're in your prime, and the allure of a sleek sports car, the latest smartphone, or a designer handbag feels almost irresistible. The thrill of owning something luxurious, something that turns heads and makes you feel like you've made it, is intoxicating. You convince yourself it's worth it because you've worked hard and you deserve it. But fast forward a few decades, and you find yourself at 70, looking back at those purchases. The sports car, it's long gone, or maybe it's sitting in your garage collecting dust, worth a fraction of what you paid for it. The gadgets, obsolete within a year or two, replaced by newer models that made your expensive splurge feel irrelevant almost instantly. Here's the harsh truth. Lavish material purchases often bring fleeting joy, but leave a lasting emptiness. They depreciate in value almost as soon as you buy them, and over time, their emotional value fades just as quickly. Think about the things you've bought in the past. How many of them truly brought lasting happiness? How many times did you regret spending so much on something you hardly use or don't even remember owning? Now let's take this further. Imagine sitting down with your 70-year-old self. What would they tell you? They'd likely say, "I wish you had thought long term. I wish you had saved that money for experiences that could have created priceless memories. I wish you had invested in things that truly mattered." Experiences, unlike possessions, grow in value over time. A trip with your family, a concert with friends, or even a quiet weekend away in nature stays with you forever. These are the things that enrich your soul, not just your social media feed. The problem is we're often so focused on impressing others or fulfilling a temporary desire that we lose sight of what will truly matter down the road. And let's not forget the financial cost of these purchases. Those high-end cars, luxury watches, and designer clothes don't just burn a hole in your wallet when you buy them. They keep draining you. Maintenance costs, insurance, and the stress of keeping up with trends can quickly turn what seemed like a rewarding purchase into a financial burden. But the regret doesn't stop at the money you spent. It's also about the opportunities you missed. The money you poured into these fleeting possessions could have been used to build your future. It could have grown into something meaningful through investments or been set aside for your family's security or your own retirement. So, the next time you're tempted by something shiny and expensive, ask yourself, will this bring me long-term happiness, or is it just a momentary thrill? Think about your future self, 70-year-old you, sitting in that chair, reflecting on your life. Make decisions today that your future self will thank you for, not regret. Because at the end of the day, it's not the price tag that defines your worth. It's the life you live and the memories you create that truly matter. 2. Neglecting health investments. Let's talk about something we all take for granted, our health. When you're young, skipping a doctor's appointment or ignoring that persistent pain might feel like no big deal. Maybe you think it's just a small issue, it'll go away on its own. Or perhaps you avoid going for regular checkups because you don't want to spend the money. After all, why pay for something when you feel fine, right? But let me ask you this. How much is your health worth to you when it's gone? Imagine reaching 70 and realizing that the aches, chronic illnesses, or limited mobility you're experiencing didn't just happen overnight. They're the result of years, decades of neglect. Skipping those checkups to save a few bucks, ignoring early warning signs, or settling for subpar healthcare might have felt like small compromises in the moment. But by 70, those small decisions can snowball into irreversible damage. Think about it. What's the real cost of saving a few dollars today if it means spending thousands, or even tens of thousands, later on treatments, medications, or surgeries that could have been avoided with early detection? Worse yet, some conditions like certain cancers or heart diseases can become untreatable if not caught early. No amount of money can buy back time or undo the damage once it's done. And it's not just about the physical pain. Imagine being 70 and unable to fully enjoy your golden years. You've worked hard all your life, but now you can't travel, play with your grandchildren, or even walk without discomfort because you neglected your health when it mattered most. That regret, that overwhelming feeling of, "I could have prevented this," is something no one should have to endure. Let's also talk about the quality of healthcare. Settling for poor quality treatment because it's cheaper in the short term is like patching a leaky roof with tape. It might hold for a little while, but eventually it'll collapse. Your body deserves the best care you can give it, because when it breaks down, it doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. Your family, your friends. They all feel the impact when you're not at your best. And don't forget preventive care. Investing in regular checkups, screenings, and a healthy lifestyle is like putting money in a savings account for your future self. It's not just about avoiding illness. It's about maintaining your energy, your independence, and your ability to enjoy life to the fullest. So, what can you do today to avoid this regret? Schedule that checkup you've been putting off. Prioritize quality over cost when it comes to healthcare. And don't just treat your health as an expense. Treat it as an investment. Eat nutritious food, exercise regularly, and listen to your body when it's trying to tell you something. Because here's the truth. By the time you're 70, you'll realize that health is wealth. You can lose money and earn it back, but once your health is gone, it's gone. The regret of not taking care of your body is one that no amount of money, no apology, and no second chances can fix. Make the choice today to invest in your health. Your future self, your 70-year-old self, will look back and thank you for it. 3. Buying approval or popularity. Let's face it, deep down, we've all felt the need to fit in, to be accepted, or to impress others at some point in our lives. Whether it's throwing extravagant parties, buying expensive gifts, or flaunting the latest trends, we convince ourselves that these things will earn us approval, admiration, and maybe even love. But here's the truth no one tells you. The people who are impressed by these displays aren't truly invested in you. They're invested in what you can offer them. Now, imagine this. You're 70 years old, sitting alone in your living room, thinking back to all the money you spent trying to win people over. The lavish parties that drained your bank account, the extravagant gifts that made people temporarily like you, or the times you said yes to things you couldn't afford just to fit in with a certain group. And then it hits you. Those people, they're long gone. They've moved on to the next person who can give them what you once did. The relationships you thought you were building were never about you. They were about what you provided. The regret of realizing that you traded your hard-earned money for shallow connections is a heavy burden to bear. By 70, you'll come to understand that genuine relationships aren't built on transactions. True friends, real partners, and family who care for you don't need to be impressed by your wealth or material possessions. They value you for who you are, not for what you can give. And here's the painful part. The money you spent trying to gain approval could have been used to enrich your own life in meaningful ways. It could have funded unforgettable experiences, supported causes you're passionate about, or been saved for your future. Instead, it went toward fleeting moments designed to impress people who probably don't even remember them. Think about the emotional cost, too. The pressure to keep up appearances, the constant need to outdo yourself, and the anxiety of wondering if people like you for who you are or for what you can give. It's exhausting. By the time you're 70, you'll wish you had spent more time building genuine connections and less time trying to impress people who never really mattered. Let's take this further. Imagine the legacy you're leaving behind. Are you building a life that reflects your true values, or are you just trying to keep up with societal expectations? Are your relationships based on authenticity, or are they rooted in superficial gestures? At the end of your life, it's not the number of people who attended your parties or admired your possessions that will matter. It's the quality of the relationships you've nurtured. So, how can you avoid this regret? Stop spending money to win approval. Instead, invest your time, energy, and resources into relationships that are meaningful and authentic. Be with people who see your value without needing to be convinced. And remember, the most fulfilling connections in life are built on trust, respect, and shared experiences, not on extravagant gestures or material displays. By 70, you'll realize that the love and respect you truly value can't be bought. They have to be earned through kindness, loyalty, and authenticity. Don't wait until it's too late to understand this. Start today by focusing on what really matters, and your future self will thank you for living a life rooted in truth, not in appearances. 4. Overextending on real estate. Real estate often feels like the ultimate sign of success. Owning multiple properties, the big house in the city, the vacation home by the beach, or even a rental property can seem like the perfect way to secure your wealth and show the world you've made it. And while it's true that real estate can be a smart investment, there's a darker side to it that many don't see until it's too late. Imagine this. You're in your 70s, and instead of enjoying the peace and freedom you thought those properties would bring, you find yourself buried under the weight of their responsibilities. The constant maintenance, leaking roofs, faulty plumbing, or aging appliances is a never-ending cycle that eats into both your time and money. Then there are the taxes, which seem to increase every year, draining your savings faster than you anticipated. And let's not forget the stress of managing tenants if you own rental properties. Late payments, property damage, and the legal hassles of being a landlord can quickly turn what seemed like a lucrative venture into a full-time headache. Here's what most people don't realize. Owning multiple properties might make you look successful on the outside, but it can often feel like a trap on the inside. Each property comes with its own set of obligations. Financial, emotional, and physical. The more you own, the more those obligations pile up until one day you realize that your properties don't serve you. You serve them. And then there's the regret. By 70, you might look back and wonder, why did I tie up so much of my money and my life? In real estate, the dream of having multiple homes often turns into the nightmare of juggling mortgages, paying for unexpected repairs, and constantly worrying about market fluctuations. Instead of enjoying your golden years, you're stuck dealing with contractors, property taxes, and the endless upkeep that comes with owning too much. Now, think about what you're missing out on because of it. That money you spent maintaining your properties could have been used to travel the world, support your family, or simply enjoy life without financial stress. The time you spent managing your real estate portfolio could have been spent making memories with loved ones or pursuing hobbies and passions that truly bring you joy. Let's take it a step further. Imagine trying to sell one of your properties when you need the money most. The market is down. Buyers are scarce, and suddenly, the asset you thought was your safety net feels more like a sinking ship. Real estate is not always the liquid investment people think it is. And when you're in your 70s, waiting months or even years to sell a property can feel like an eternity. So what's the solution? It's not about avoiding real estate altogether. It's about being strategic. Instead of buying multiple properties, focus on owning one or two that truly serve your needs. Choose homes that are easy to maintain, located in stable markets, and provide you with comfort and security as you age. If you want to invest in real estate, consider alternatives like real estate investment trusts, REITs, which allow you to earn returns without the hassle of direct ownership. By the time you're 70, you'll realize that less is often more. The fewer properties you own, the less stress you'll have, and the more freedom you'll enjoy. Don't let the dream of owning multiple homes turn into a financial and emotional burden. Make smart choices today so that your future self can live a life of peace, not pressure, because at the end of the day, it's not the number of properties you own that defines your success. It's the quality of the life you build around them. Prioritize freedom over appearances, and your 70-year-old self will thank you for it. 5. Not saving for your golden years. When you're in your prime working years, it's easy to believe the money will keep flowing. Promotions, bonuses, and paychecks feel like endless resources, and the temptation to spend instead of save is everywhere. Fancy dinners, impulsive shopping, exotic vacations. You convince yourself that you've earned the right to indulge. After all, why not enjoy life now? But here's the reality check most people don't confront until it's too late. The years pass faster than you think, and by the time you're 70, the money you didn't save will haunt you far more than any fleeting joy those splurges ever brought. Picture this. You've worked your whole life, but you didn't prioritize saving. You didn't contribute enough to your retirement accounts, or you cashed them out early for short-term desires. Now you're 70, and instead of enjoying the freedom to travel, relax, or spend time with family, you're worrying about how to make ends meet. Every unexpected expense, a medical bill, a home repair, even a birthday gift, feels like a mountain you can't climb. The regret of knowing you had the chance to build a safety net but chose not to is a burden no one should have to carry. It's not just about the money either. Financial insecurity in your later years brings stress, anxiety, and dependence on others. Imagine having to rely on your children or friends to help pay your bills, not because they want to, but because you have no other choice. That loss of independence, of being unable to provide for yourself, is a devastating reality for many who didn't save when they had the chance. Now, think about the opportunities you'll miss. You won't be able to say yes to that family vacation or help your grandchildren with their education. You might find yourself skipping on experiences that could have enriched your later years simply because you didn't plan ahead. And while your friends are enjoying the fruits of their hard work, you're stuck worrying about how to stretch your budget to cover basic needs. Let's take it a step further. What if an emergency strikes? Medical expenses, home damages, or unexpected legal issues can drain what little savings you might have left. Without a proper financial cushion, these situations can quickly spiral into debt, leaving you feeling trapped and overwhelmed at a stage in life when you should be enjoying peace. But here's the good news. You can change your future starting today. Every dollar you save now is a gift to your future self. It's the difference between a life of freedom and a life of worry. Instead of spending on things that lose their value, like material possessions or fleeting luxuries, invest in your retirement accounts, build an emergency fund, and consider low-risk investments that grow over time. It's not about depriving yourself today. It's about finding balance. Enjoy life, yes, but with an eye on the future. Because when you're 70, you won't remember the expensive watch you bought or the overpriced meal you had. What you'll care about is whether you can live your life comfortably without financial stress or dependency. Your golden years should be a time to reflect on your achievements, explore new passions, and create memories with loved ones. They shouldn't be overshadowed by regret or financial struggle. Start saving now, not because you have to, but because your future self deserves the peace, security, and dignity that only a well-planned financial foundation can provide. At the end of the day, the biggest regret isn't about the money you spent. It's about the life you could have lived if you had chosen to save. Instead, make the decision today to prioritize your future. Your 70-year-old self will look back with gratitude, not regret, and thank you for giving them the freedom to enjoy life on their own terms. 6. Falling for get-rich-quick schemes. At some point, we've all been tempted by the allure of a quick, effortless way to make money. The smooth-talking salesperson, the flashy advertisements, the promises of doubling your investment in no time. It all seems so exciting, so easy. After all, who doesn't want to retire early or live a life of luxury without working harder? But here's the hard truth. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And by the time you're 70, the regret of falling for these schemes will weigh heavily on your heart and your wallet. Picture this. You're sitting down, looking at your finances, and you realize how much money you've lost over the years chasing get-rich-quick schemes. Maybe it was that shady investment opportunity promising sky-high returns, or a pyramid scheme where you had to recruit others to succeed. You might have believed the hype, thinking, this could be my big break. But instead of making money, you watched your hard-earned savings disappear, leaving you with nothing but empty promises and mounting frustration. The regret isn't just about the financial loss. It's about realizing that you let your desire for a shortcut cloud your judgment. You trusted people who didn't have your best interests at heart. You ignored the red flags because the dream they sold you was too tempting to resist. And now, at 70, you're left wondering how much further ahead you could have been if you had just been more cautious. Think about the emotional toll, too. Falling for these schemes often comes with a deep sense of embarrassment and shame. You might feel hesitant to talk about it, worried that others will judge you or say, I told you so. But the truth is, these scams prey on good, hardworking people who are simply trying to secure a better future for themselves and their families. The fault doesn't lie with you. It lies with those who exploit your dreams and trust. Now imagine the opportunities you missed because of these schemes. The money you lost could have been used to build a solid retirement fund, support your children's education, or create unforgettable memories with your loved ones. Instead, it went to line the pockets of people who saw you as nothing more than a stepping stone for their own gain. And here's the scariest part. These schemes don't just take your money, they take your time. Time spent trying to make these investments work, time spent dealing with the fallout when they fail, and time spent rebuilding your finances. By the time you're 70, you'll realize that time is the most valuable resource you have, and it's one you can never get back. So how do you avoid this regret? Start by being cautious and skeptical. If someone promises you extraordinary returns with little to no risk, walk away. Real investments take time, research, and effort. Educate yourself about how the financial world works. Seek advice from trusted professionals, not strangers with big promises. And most importantly, trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Building wealth takes time, discipline, and smart decision-making. It's not as glamorous as the instant riches promised by scams, but it's real, sustainable, and will give you the financial security you need when you reach your later years. By the time you're 70, you'll look back and be grateful for the cautious decisions you made. You'll have the peace of mind that comes from knowing your money was spent wisely, not squandered on empty promises. The regret of falling for a get-rich-quick scheme is one that no one should have to endure. Protect your future by staying vigilant today and give your 70-year-old self the financial stability they deserve. 7. Neglecting simple pleasures for status symbols. In the rush to keep up with the world, it's easy to get caught up in the chase for status symbols. Fancy meals at five-star restaurants, exclusive memberships to private clubs, luxury vacations to exotic destinations. All of it feels like proof that you've made it in life. But here's the harsh reality many come to realize too late. These things might impress others in the moment, but they often fail to leave lasting happiness. By the time you're 70, you'll look back and wish you had spent less on things meant to impress and more on the simple, priceless pleasures that truly enrich life. Picture this. You're scrolling through your memories and realize most of your experiences revolved around trying to keep up appearances. That $1,000 dinner at a high-end restaurant. The food was great, but you barely remember it now. The exclusive gym membership you paid a fortune for. You hardly used it because it felt more like a trophy than a tool. And those luxury vacations? They might have made for great photos on social media, but the stress of planning, overspending, and impressing others overshadowed the joy they could have brought. Now contrast that with the moments you spent enjoying the simple things in life. An evening walk with a loved one, sharing stories over a home-cooked meal, or sitting on the porch, listening to the birds. These moments didn't cost a fortune, but they likely brought you more genuine joy than any status symbol ever could. The truth is, as you age, it's not the expensive experiences or possessions you remember most. It's the people, the connections, and the small, meaningful moments that stand out. Chasing status symbols often comes with a hidden cost. You sacrifice time, energy, and peace of mind to maintain an image that others might not even notice or care about. Worse, you might alienate yourself from the people who truly matter. While you're busy climbing the social ladder or funding a lifestyle that looks glamorous from the outside, you miss out on the laughter of your children, the companionship of true friends, or the quiet contentment of simply being present in the moment. By the time you're 70, you'll realize that status symbols are fleeting. The world moves on, trends change, and what seemed impressive yesterday becomes irrelevant tomorrow. The things you worked so hard to acquire lose their shine, and you're left wondering why you didn't focus on what really mattered, the simple joys of life that money can't buy. Imagine sitting in a luxury car or a big house at 70, but feeling empty because you spent decades neglecting your relationships or health in the pursuit of those things. Contrast it with someone who may have fewer material possessions, but is surrounded by love, laughter, and peace. Which life would you rather have? So, what's the solution? It's not about avoiding luxury or success. It's about finding balance. Treat yourself occasionally, but don't let the pursuit of status override your appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Invest in experiences that bring you closer to your loved ones, not just those that make for good photos. Prioritize time over money, presence over appearances, and relationships over recognition. When you're 70, the simple pleasures will matter more than anything else. The joy of a sunset, the warmth of a hug, the laughter of your grandchildren. These are the things that stay with you. Don't let the chase for status symbols rob you of these priceless moments. At the end of the day, no one remembers you for the size of your house, the brand of your clothes, or the places you vacationed. They remember the love you gave, the moments you shared, and the impact you had on their lives. Choose simple pleasures over status symbols, and you'll live a life of richness that no amount of money can buy. When you're 70, you'll look back with gratitude, not regret, knowing you prioritized what truly matters. 8. Overindulging in lifestyle choices. In today's world, it's easy to get swept up in the culture of indulgence. Streaming platforms, endless subscriptions, gourmet food delivery services, high-end hobbies, and extravagant weekend getaways. They all promise a better, more enjoyable life. But here's the reality. When taken to excess, these lifestyle choices don't always deliver the lasting happiness or fulfillment they advertise. By the time you're 70, you may find yourself looking back at all the money spent on fleeting pleasures, wishing you had invested it into something meaningful instead. Picture this. You're in your prime earning years, and every paycheck seems like an opportunity to upgrade your lifestyle. You subscribe to multiple streaming platforms, each offering shows you barely have time to watch. You splurge on dining out every week, telling yourself you deserve it after a long day. Expensive hobbies like golfing, skiing, or collecting luxury items start to dominate your weekends, even if you're not as passionate about them as you thought you'd be. It feels good in the moment, but as the years pass, you realize that these indulgences didn't contribute to long-term happiness or personal growth. Now fast forward to 70. You're reviewing your financial situation and it hits you. All those seemingly harmless lifestyle choices added up. The subscriptions you barely used, the fancy meals you can't even remember, and the hobbies you pursued half-heartedly. They've drained a significant portion of your savings. What's worse, you don't have much to show for it. That money could have been used to travel the world with loved ones, invest in your health, or build a more secure future. Instead, it was spent on temporary pleasures that faded as quickly as they came. The regret runs deeper when you think about what you could have done differently. Imagine channeling those funds into personal growth, taking a class to learn a new skill, starting a small side business, or supporting a meaningful cause. These investments could have brought lasting satisfaction and a sense of purpose, things that overindulging in entertainment or hobbies rarely provides. Overindulging also comes with hidden emotional and psychological costs. The constant pursuit of the next exciting experience can leave you feeling empty when the thrill wears off. You might find yourself stuck in a cycle of chasing short-term highs, all while neglecting the deeper joys that come from meaningful relationships, self-improvement, and giving back. Another consequence of overindulgence is the opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on unnecessary luxuries is a dollar that could have gone toward building a brighter future. By 70, you might find yourself wishing you had put that money into a retirement fund, your grandchildren's education, or even a dream project you never pursued because you thought you couldn't afford it. So, how do you avoid this trap? It starts with mindfulness. Ask yourself, is this lifestyle choice bringing me true happiness, or am I just following the trend? Prioritize quality over quantity. You don't need a dozen subscriptions when one or two would suffice. You don't need to eat out every week when a home-cooked meal can be just as satisfying, if not more. And you don't need to chase expensive hobbies if they don't genuinely enrich your life. Instead of overindulging, focus on intentional spending. Invest in experiences and activities that align with your values and bring lasting joy. Spend time with loved ones, explore nature, volunteer for a cause, or develop a skill that brings you pride and purpose. These choices may not be as flashy, but they create memories and growth that money can't buy. By the time you're 70, you'll want to look back and feel proud of how you lived. Not just in terms of what you accomplished, but how you spent your time and resources. Overindulgence in lifestyle choices might seem harmless in the moment, but it often leads to regret when you realize how much it cost you in the long run. Don't let the temporary pull of excessive entertainment or luxury hobbies distract you from what truly matters. Choose a life of meaning, balance, and intentionality. When you're 70, you'll be grateful you focused on what really counts, instead of losing yourself in the endless cycle of indulgence. 9. Ignoring charity or giving back. In life, success is often measured by what we accumulate: wealth, possessions, achievements. But as the years pass, and especially by the time you reach 70, you begin to see life from a different perspective. It's not just about what you gain, but about what you give. Many people look back and deeply regret not using their resources to make a difference in the lives of others. They realize too late that acts of kindness and generosity leave a far greater legacy than material possessions ever could. Imagine reaching 70 and thinking about all the opportunities you had to give back but didn't take. Maybe it was the chance to help a struggling family, sponsor a child's education, or support a cause you deeply cared about. Perhaps you hesitated thinking you needed to save every penny for yourself, or you told yourself, "I'll do it later when I have more to give." But later never came, and those moments slipped through your fingers. The regret isn't just about the missed opportunities. It's about the impact you could have made. Think about the joy and hope your generosity could have brought to someone in need. A small contribution from you might have been life-changing for them. By 70, you'll realize that the satisfaction of helping others far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of spending money on yourself. Ignoring charity or giving back also means missing out on the profound sense of purpose it brings. Helping others connects you to something greater than yourself. It reminds you of the shared humanity we all have, the struggles we all face, and the power we have to lift each other up. Without these experiences, life can feel hollow, no matter how much wealth you've accumulated. Now consider this. When you're gone, people won't remember you for the size of your bank account or the luxury items you own. They'll remember the kindness you showed, the lives you touched, and the difference you made. Acts of generosity create a ripple effect that extends far beyond you. When you help someone, you're not just impacting their life, you're inspiring them to help others, creating a legacy that lasts for generations. But ignoring charity isn't just a loss for others, it's a loss for you too. Studies have shown that giving back boosts mental health, reduces stress, and even improves physical health. The act of giving releases endorphins, creating what's often called the helper's high. By denying yourself the chance to give, you're also denying yourself the joy and fulfillment that comes with it. So why do so many people neglect this aspect of life? Often, it's because we overestimate what it takes to make a difference. We think we need to give huge sums of money or dedicate large amounts of time. But the truth is, even small acts of kindness can create significant change. Donating a little each month, volunteering a few hours a year, or even just sharing resources and knowledge with someone in need can make a bigger impact than you realize. By 70, you'll want to look back and feel proud of the legacy you've built, not just in terms of financial success, but in the lives you've uplifted. You'll wish you had given more, shared more, and connected more with those in need. And the good news is, it's never too late to start. So ask yourself today, what can I do to give back? Can I support a local charity? Can I mentor someone who's just starting out? Can I offer my time, my skills, or even just my presence to someone who needs it? Every little bit counts, and it all adds up to a life well lived. When you're 70, it won't be the things you kept for yourself that bring you peace. It will be the things you gave away, the smiles you brought to others, the hope you inspired, and the love you shared will be your greatest treasures. Don't wait until it's too late to make a difference. Start giving back today and build a legacy of kindness that will outlive you. As we conclude, life is about choices, and the way you spend your money reflects the life you create for yourself. By avoiding these regrets, you can ensure your 70-year-old self is thanking you, not questioning you. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. What's one thing you think is worth not spending money on? And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who could use this wisdom. Remember, it's never too early or too late to make smarter choices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.